Hello everyone, my name is Linda. I am here again with a different and beautiful story. Before we delve into our story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap's Fantastic Adventures, Polar Journey. On a winter's day, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap decided to embark on an exciting journey to the poles. This would be a completely new and unknown adventure for them. They left their warm forests and headed towards the cold realms dominated by glaciers and snow. As they began their journey, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap could hardly imagine what the poles would be like. Endless white snow cover, massive glaciers, and harsh winds awaited them. The pair had to adapt to these new and challenging conditions. Along the way, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap started encountering polar animals. First, they watched a group of penguins waddling joyfully. They learned how penguins survived in the polar cold and communicated with each other. Later, as they traveled between glaciers, they came across a group of seals. They observed how the seals hunted underwater and rested on the ice. Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap admired how these animals adapted to the polar climate. During their journey, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap also had to cope with the challenges of the polar climate. Intense snowstorms, low temperatures, and slippery ice surfaces tested their courage and endurance. The duo supported each other to survive in these cold lands. Towards the end of the day, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap found a safe place among the glaciers to set up camp and spend the night. As darkness fell, the silence and mesmerizing beauty of the poles deeply affected them. The next morning, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap woke up to a captivating landscape shining under the polar sun. All around them stretched the dazzling glaciers and snow cover. This impressive environment further fueled their excitement to explore. The pair began moving through the glaciers. They learned about the formation of these massive ice masses and their effects on the polar ecosystem while witnessing the immense power of nature. The creaking of glaciers and deep cracks between them showed the beauty and danger of these cold lands. Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap encountered polar bears on the edge of a glacier. They observed the hunting methods of the polar bears, how they cared for their young, and how they survived in the cold. Seeing the powerful and graceful presence of the polar bears showed them the richness of the polar wildlife. Throughout their journey, the pair often stopped to observe the inhabitants of the poles. A group of Arctic foxes played on the snow, while polar seagulls soared in the sky. Each animal had perfectly adapted to the polar climate. As the day progressed, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap began to feel the effects of the cold and wind more intensely. They adapted to these harsh conditions by supporting each other and using survival methods learned from nature. As the sun set, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap found a safe place next to a glacier to spend the night. During the cold polar night, under the stars, they discussed the captivating beauty and wild nature of the poles, enjoying this unique experience. On the last day of their polar adventure, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap silently moved through the glaciers shining under the polar sun. The wonders of polar life they thought about and observed during the night taught them much about the fragile balance of nature. The pair witnessed the struggle for life of the animals of the poles, experiencing the difficulties of surviving in these cold realms themselves. Polar bears, penguins, seals, and other animals showed how they survived in this harsh climate. Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap sought more about the melting of glaciers and the effects of climate change. They realized the need to protect the unique beauty of the poles and how actions in other parts of the world affected life here. At the end of their journey, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap prepared to leave the poles. This adventure taught them the value of the polar ecosystem and the importance of its conservation. As they returned to their forests, they vowed to share everything they saw and learned with their friends. As they left the poles, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap looked back one last time at the magnificent landscape they were leaving behind. The time they spent among the glaciers showed them the wonders of nature and the fragility that needs to be protected. At the end of their polar journey, Squirrel Nutsy and Owl Flap returned to their warm forests. The greenery and warmth of the forest were even more welcoming after the cold and white scenery of the poles. The pair would not forget the lessons of this adventure and would always remember their respect for nature. Our story ends here. Friends, if you are curious about the continuation of the story and other stories, subscribe to our channel. Wishing you always live your dreams. Goodbye.
Our story ends here, friends all. If you're curious about mysteries, subscribe to